Habari Gani. It's day 4 of our Kwanzaa celebration, and today's principle is Ujamaa, Cooperative Economics. How do we build and maintain each other's businesses so that we can see more profits in our community? How are you practicing cooperative economics today?
Greetings, my name is Miingini. Today we'll be going through a short yoga session focusing on flexibility in our legs as well as circulation. All levels are welcome, so if you're advanced, just a beginner, or new to it, feel free to join in. Okay, and starting off, we're going to stretch and extend our legs in front of us, making sure that our toes are touching with our hands on our sides. On a count of 3, we're going to inhale through our nostrils with a count of 4. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Inhale, raising our hands above our head, breathing through our nostrils. Once our palms touch, we're going to pause here. Back of the palms are touching. Exhale through your nose, squeezing your abdomen as you release the air. We're going to do this 3 more times. Inhale, breathing through your nostrils. Once the palms touch, back of the palms, exhale, squeezing your abdomen. 2 more times. Inhale. 2, 3, 4, palms touching, back of the palms, exhale, 2, 3, 4, our last one. Inhale, breathing through our nostrils, allowing our belly to fill with air. Pause, back of the palms are touching, exhale, squeezing your abdomen on your exhale. Once more, inhale. This time on your exhale, we're going to lean forward, reaching for your toes or your ankles, your knees, wherever feels comfortable. Bringing your chin towards your chest, feeling the stretch in the back of your neck, maintaining your breathing, allowing your belly to fill with air on your inhales, squeezing your abdomen on your exhales. On your next inhale, go ahead and raise your hands all the way up above your head. Exhale, releasing them down towards the side, bringing the bottoms of our feet together to our groin area. We're going to make sure that we're sitting up straight. Inhale. On your exhale, bringing yourself towards your feet, bringing your chin towards your chest, allowing your belly to fill with air on your inhales, squeezing your abdomen on your exhales. Inhale, go ahead and come up. On your next exhale, go ahead and take your hands and walk them out in front of you as far as you can. Once you've reached your extension, go ahead and bring your chin towards your chest. Feeling the stretch in the back of your neck. Maintaining your breathing. On your next inhale, go ahead and walk your hands back towards your feet. Once your hands reach your feet, go ahead and gently flutter your legs in what we call butterfly pose. And this is loosening up any tension that you may have stored in your hips. Go ahead and stop fluttering, releasing both of your legs. Starting with our left leg, we're going to grab our left ankle. Right hand is on top of our right thigh. On a count of 3, we're going to inhale, raising our left leg. 1, 2, 3. Inhale, raising your left leg, keeping your toes flexed towards your face. On your exhale, bringing your foot towards your chest. Inhale, raising your right hand up towards the ceiling. Exhale, bringing your right hand on the outside of your foot. Inhale, releasing your left hand up towards the ceiling. Exhale, bringing that left hand underneath, hugging your foot closer as we gently rock side to side, opening up our hips, creating that circulation of blood, oxygen. Releasing your left hand back up towards the ceiling. Exhale, placing it on the outside of your ankle. Inhale as you straighten your left leg. Exhale, bringing it back down towards the mat. We're going to switch legs. Now grabbing our right ankle. On the count of 3, we're going to inhale, raising our right leg up. 1, 2, 3. Inhale, raising your leg up. Toes are flexed towards your face. Exhale, bringing your foot towards your chest. Inhale, raising your left hand towards the ceiling. Exhale, bringing it on the outside of your foot. Inhale, right arm goes up towards the ceiling. Exhale, bringing it underneath, hugging our foot closer as we gently rock side to side. Maintaining our breathing, allowing our belly to fill with air on our inhales, squeezing our abdomen on our exhales. As we release and inhale, our right arm goes up towards the ceiling. Exhale, bringing it on the outside of our foot. As we inhale and release, straightening our right leg. Exhale, bringing our leg all the way back down towards the mat. Go ahead and shake out your legs, rotate your ankles. Starting with our left leg, we're going to bend at the knee, matching our foot to our right knee. Hands at our sides. On our inhale, we're going to raise our arms above our head, palms touching. Exhale as we reach forward, grabbing wherever feels comfortable, whether that's your toes, your ankles, or your knees. Bringing your chin towards your chest. Feeling the stretch in the back of your neck. Trying not to tense up. On your inhale, go ahead and release and raise your hands above your head. Palms touching. Switching our legs. Our right leg is going to be bent and our left leg is extended in front of us. Inhale again here. On your exhale, squeezing your abdomen, reaching forward. Bringing your chin towards your chest. Maintaining your breathing through your nostrils. Allowing your belly to fill with air on your inhales. Squeezing your abdomen on your exhales. On your inhale, go ahead and release your arms up. Releasing your legs. Exhale, bringing your arms down towards the side. Bending your feet so that bending your legs so that your feet are flat. Starting with our right hand, inhale, raising it up. Exhale, placing it behind you, palms flat. Inhale, raising your left arm, turning towards your right as we placed our left hand on the outside of our thigh, creating a gentle spinal twist. Maintain your breathing, feeling your abdomen move with each breath, squeezing on your exhales, allowing your belly to fill with air on your inhales. On your next inhale, go ahead and release your left arm up towards the ceiling. Exhale, placing it behind you, palm flat. Inhale, raising your right arm. Exhale, placing it on the outside of your thigh. Going with the spinal twist as much as it feels comfortable. Maintaining your breath. Allowing your belly to fill with air on your inhales. Squeezing your abdomen on your exhales. Releasing your right arm up. Exhale, bringing it behind you. Going to do the right side once more. Inhale, raising your left hand up towards the ceiling. Exhale, bringing it on the outside of that right thigh. Engaging in your spinal twist, giving your internal organs a gentle massage, allowing your belly to fill with air on the inhales, squeezing your abdomen on your exhales. On your next inhale, releasing your left arm. Exhale, bringing it behind you. Inhale, right arm up once more. Exhale, bringing it on the outside of your right thigh, left thigh. Squeezing your abdomen on each exhale. Allowing your belly to fill with air On each inhale, releasing your arm up. Exhale, bringing it behind you. Pushing yourselves forward. We're going to gently come onto our knees with our toes flexed underneath, gently sitting on our heels in what we call sesh pose. Maintaining our breathing here, having our toes flexed, activating the meridians in our feet, giving our internal organs a massage again. On your next inhale, we're leaning forward, palms flat, releasing our feet onto our insteps, gently sitting back down on our heels. And with this motion, we're opening up our ankles, increasing the mobility and circulation in our ankles and feet. Inhale, leaning forward, flexing our toes again, gently sitting on our heels, maintaining your breathing. And if at any point this becomes too intense, you just lean forward and release your feet. And sit back down on your heels. Inhale, leaning forward, flexing our toes. This time we're going to push ourselves up, stepping back slightly into pyramid pose, making sure our back is flat, our chin is towards our chest, our feet are flat as possible. Inhale, slowly coming up onto the tips of our toes. Exhale, gently bringing ourselves down onto our knees as we roll forward on the inhale, raising our feet. Exhale as we come down into child's pose with our hands extended, forehead towards the mat. Maintaining our breathing here. As we look forward, we're going to bend at our elbows, rolling forward into cobra. Flexing our toes, pushing ourselves up, back into pyramid. You can readjust your hands. We're going to do that 2 more times. Inhale onto our toes. Exhale, gently onto our knees. As we inhale, rolling forward, raising our feet. Exhale, down into child's pose. Arms extended. Looking forward, bending at our elbows, roll through into cobra. Flexing our toes. Inhale as you push yourselves up. Readjusting your hands. One more time, inhale onto our toes. Exhale, gently coming down onto our knees. Inhale, rolling forward, raising our feet. Exhale into child's pose. Looking forward, bending at our elbows, rolling through to cobra. Flexing our toes as we push ourselves up. This time we're going to walk our feet towards our hands, 1 foot at a time. Once our feet reach our hands, go ahead and grab the back of your ankles, allowing your head to hang free. Bending your knees, lowering your bottom. Bringing our hands at our sides, flat on the mat. Starting with our left leg, we're going to extend it. Gently lowering onto our left knee. You can keep your toes flexed, or you can put them on your instep, whichever feels comfortable and helps you keep balance. Bringing our arms underneath our thigh. On the count of 3, we're going to inhale, raising our hands above our head. 1, 2, 3. Inhale, raising our arms above our head, palms touching. Exhale, bringing our hands to our knee as we dip deeper, feeling the stretch in our thigh. Inhale as we straighten back up. Exhale, bringing our stomach back to our thigh as we release our hands. Go ahead and flex your back toes if they weren't already. Pushing ourselves back up. This time, we're going to switch legs. Bring our right leg back, bring our left leg forward. Then we gently bring our right knee down, hands underneath of our thigh. On the count of 3, we're going to inhale, bringing our hands up above our head. 1, 2, 3. Inhale, bringing your arms up above your head, palms touching. Exhale, bringing your hands towards your knee, dipping deeper for an extra stretch in your groin area, extra stretch in your thighs. Bringing our stomach to our thigh, releasing our hands flat on the mat. Bringing yourself up Bringing your right leg to meet with your right. Grabbing the back of your ankles, allowing your head to hang free. Extending your right leg again. Having your left hand flat on the ground next to your left foot. We're going to raise our right hand up towards the ceiling. As we look towards the ceiling, maintaining our balance. Maintaining your breath, allowing your belly to fill with air on your inhales, squeezing your abdomen on your exhales, bringing your right hand down, left hand on the outside. Go ahead and switch legs, bringing your left to the front. Extending your right leg back. Right hand is now on the inside of your right foot. Left hand is going up towards the ceiling as we follow our gaze towards the ceiling as well. Maintaining your breath. Allowing your belly to fill with air on your inhales. Squeezing your abdomen on your exhales. Bringing your hand back down. Right hand on the outside of your foot. Bringing your left leg to meet with your right. Gently lowering yourself back onto our knees into sesh. Allowing your belly to fill with air on each inhale. Squeezing your abdomen with each exhale. Inhale, leaning forward, coming onto your insteps. Maintaining your breathing. Feeling the movement in your abdomen with each inhale and each exhale. Leaning forward onto our insteps. Feeling the stretch with each toe as they're flexed underneath. This time we're going to come flat onto our feet, widening our stance into a squat. Bringing our elbows inside of our thighs, inside of our knees. Palms are touching to push and open up our legs. Making sure that our toes are flat on the ground. Maintaining our breathing. On your next inhale, we're going to stand, raising our hands all the way up above our head. Exhale, bringing our palms together as we squat back down. Knees in the inside. Elbows are in the inside. Do that 2 more times. Inhale, raising your arms up above your head. Palms touching. Exhale, bring it back down. Once more, inhale, all the way up above your head. Exhale, palms together, back down. We want to release our hands, sitting flat on the mat. Extending all the way down, laying flat on the mat. With our feet together, our palms at our sides facing down. On the count of 3, we're going to inhale, raising our legs up towards the ceiling. 1, 2, 3. Inhale, raising our legs towards the ceiling. Toes are pointed towards the ceiling. Exhale, flexing your toes towards your face. Inhale, toes towards the ceiling. Exhale, flexing towards your face. Inhale, towards the ceiling. On your exhale, we're releasing our legs all the way down to the mat. And we're going to do that 3 more times. Inhale, raising your legs up, making sure that they're touching and coming up together. Toes pointed towards the ceiling. Exhale, toes flex towards your face. Inhale, point your toes towards the ceiling. Exhale, flexing towards your face. Inhale, towards the ceiling. Exhale, and release all the way down to the mat. 2 more times. Inhale, toes towards the ceiling. Exhale, flexing our toes towards our face. Inhale, toes pointed towards the ceiling. Releasing our legs on the exhale, all the way back down towards the mat. So our last one. Inhale, bringing your feet up together, toes pointed towards the ceiling. Exhale, flexing our toes towards our face. Inhale, toes are pointed towards the ceiling. Exhale, releasing your legs all the way down towards the mat. Once your legs reach the mat, go ahead and shake them out. Rotate your ankles. Bringing the bottoms of our feet flat, about hip width apart. Close enough to your bottom that you can touch your ankles. Our palms are still at our sides, facing down. On the count of 3, we're going to use our toes and our hands to push our hips up towards the ceiling. 1, 2, 3. Using your toes and your hands, pushing your hips up towards the ceiling. Exhale, slowly bringing it back down. We're going to do this 2 more times. Inhale, pushing your hips all the way up towards the ceiling. Exhale, releasing your hips back down towards the mat. Inhale, pushing your hips up, making sure that your feet are flat on the ground, your hands are flat. Inhale here, holding the position. Exhale, still holding the position, pushing yourself up further. Inhale. On your next exhale, go ahead and lower your hips back down, all the way towards the mat. Once you reach the mat, bring your knees towards your chest, wrapping your arms around them, gently rocking side to side, giving your lower back a gentle massage. Releasing your right leg, holding on to your left leg, hugging it closer towards your chest. Go ahead and switch legs, extending your left leg, hugging your right knee close towards your chest. Switch legs once more. Right leg is extended. Left knee hugging towards your chest. Doing our right knee last time. Left leg is extended. Bringing both knees towards your chest. We're going to reach for our toes, allowing our knees to naturally go to the floor, opening our legs so that the bottoms of our feet are facing the ceiling. You can hold your big toes, you can hold the sides of your feet, wherever feels comfortable. And gently rock side to side here. Straightening your legs, toes pointed towards the ceiling. Palms are flat at our sides. Exhale as we gently lower our legs down towards the mat. Inhale, raising our arms. Exhale, releasing them above our head onto the ground. On the count of 3, we're going to inhale, raising ourselves up with our arms still extended. 1, 2, 3. Inhale, Raising ourselves up, arms still extended. As we exhale, go ahead and reach forward, bringing your chin towards your chest. Feeling the stretch in the back of your neck. Maintaining your breathing. Allowing your belly to fill with air on your inhales. Squeezing your abdomen on your exhales. On your next inhale, we're going to raise our hands up above our head, palms touching. Flipping our hands back of the palms. Exhale as we release our hands towards the side. Bringing the bottoms of our feet together. We're going to raise our shoulders as if we're shrugging them towards our ears. Hold them and release. Do that 3 more times. Raising our shoulders towards our ears and release. 2 more times. And release. Once more, raising our shoulders towards our ears and release. Lifting our right hand up above our head, wrapping it around, gently guiding our head towards the right, allowing the natural weight of our arm to stretch our neck. Go ahead and release. Switching arms, our left arm, stretching our neck. Releasing our arm. Right hand once more. Going to do our left hand once more. Releasing our left hand, we're going to do half circle rotations, starting at the center, rotating towards the left, rotating towards the right, half circle rotations, back towards the left, towards the right. Inhale, raising your arms up above your head, palms touching. Exhale, bringing it towards your center. Rub your hands together. soon as you feel heat between your palms, go ahead and place your left hand on your heart, your right hand on your abdomen, feeling your beat of your heart in your palm, feeling the movement of your breath, giving thanks for life, being present in this moment. And give yourself a thank you for taking time out of today to do something positive and healthy for your body, increasing circulation, increasing the blood flow, opening up your hips, releasing any tension that may have been stored to really set your day off right. And what we say in Kemetic Yoga is dua, which is an abundance of thanks and gratitude, like words can't even explain it. So that's what I have for you all today. Dua, abundance of gratitude for joining me for this Kemetic Yoga session. And thank you.
Begin by planting your feet shoulder width apart, bending your knees, relaxing your shoulders, and breathing deeply. Then shake your whole body, from your feet through your knees, hips, and shoulders to your head. Doesn't matter what speed you're at, what's most important is you don't stop moving. Don't forget your hands, don't forget your head, and you don't have to stay still. If you feel more comfortable by moving around, move around. That's right, you got it. Keep going. Keep going. You got this. Again, remember you can close your eyes if that feels more comfortable. Keep shaking. Don't stop. Get it, get it. Notice the places in your body that need to be free, that feel stuck. Find movements that help open up those spaces. Sometimes it's our shoulders. Sometimes it's our hips. So take some moment while we're moving and shaking to move those spaces. Don't forget to breathe. Keep going. If you feel tired, you can sit down, but you can't stop moving. Keep going. Keep shaking. I'm right here with you. We have 4 more minutes. Don't forget your feet. Don't forget your neck. And if it resonates with you, don't forget to smile. Move those feet. Move those knees. Move those hips. Move those shoulders. Move those hands. Keep going. I'm right here with you. If you feel tired, just slow it down, but don't stop moving. Switch it up if you have to, but keep shaking and keep moving. We're trying to get rid of that stuckness. What do you need to release today? What have you been holding on to that you're ready to let go? Let it go. Let go of the things that no longer serve you. Let go of whatever frustration, anger that you may be holding in your body, making space for more joy and happiness. Keep moving. You got this. Keep shaking. Keep shaking. Keep shaking. I know. We still got time. We still going. 2 more minutes. That's all, just 2 more minutes. Keep going. Keep shaking. You got it. Almost there. Notice the places that you haven't moved already and move those places now. We want to move every single inch of our body. Let no part of your body go unmoved. Keep moving. Keep going. You got this. You got this. You got this. 90 seconds. Almost there. Shake it out. Let it go. Let it go. Keep going. Keep going. Almost there. Keep shaking. Keep moving. Keep shaking. Don't stop. And now, find this moment of stillness. Slowing down your breath. Noticing how you feel in your body. What sensations are present right now? Try to stay as still as possible. Slowing down your breath. Noticing your thoughts. Maybe rolling your shoulders a few times. but trying to maintain stillness. We're only here for 2 minutes. Notice the difference between when you were shaking and now. When the music comes on, I want you to dance in whatever way feels right for you. It doesn't have to be fast. It doesn't have to be slow. Just want you to feel and move. Dance and feel. Again, if it makes you more comfortable, don't forget, you can always close your eyes to eliminate any distraction. You can dance in place, or you can move around in the space that you're in. Again, we're not shaking, we're dancing. Get your signature moving if you can. And if it feels right, don't forget to smile. Your movement can be slow and steady. Notice how you feel. What movements are your body calling for right now? That's right. I see you. Look at you. Keep dancing like no one is watching you. And start to slowly find your stillness. Come to a seated position. Take a breath and notice how you feel. Let's heal, plant, and grow.
Hello, everyone. I'm Jay Van Sharp from My Uber Life Consulting Group with a mission to grow, build companies, and to connect the dots between culture, community, and commerce. A little bit about My Uber Life. We're from New York City. We started about 15 years ago, and our mission was to offer the services and skills to young, creative people, to Black and Brown people, and to people with innovative ideas. A little bit about myself. I was born in South America, in Venezuela specifically, and I was raised in Flatbush, Brooklyn. And as we say in New York, I cut my teeth in New York City. And again, you know, my background helped me see the power of community, and also to help me understand the value of ideas and the value of business. Business was one of my passions personally. With that being said, I'd like to share some of these nuggets today with you all. Doesn't matter your expertise, doesn't matter if you've been in the company, you know, been a company person for 25 years, or you know, you're a serial entrepreneur, or you're an investor, or you're someone just starting out. Doesn't matter. Consider this a refresher course for some, and for some, consider this the ABCs. So today we're going to talk about business and the fundamentals of it, and we're going to offer you a guide and a simple checklist. And if any of you want to get in touch, you know, please reach out and feel free to reach out. If I fumble my words a little bit, I make a mistake a little bit, you know, please bear with me in this medium. But again, hopefully you'll gain some insights from here, and you know, and from my heart to yours. I hope it's received well, and I hope it empowers you on your journey, wherever it may be. So let's start. Business 101. What is a business? Right? It's one of those things that we've heard about our entire lives, right? The concept of a business. We kind of think it's, you know, something that you go, you know, someone that sells me stuff. Fine. And usually that's a bit of our experience, you know, as a community and as people with business. You know, it's usually been through the experience of as a consumer per se, right? As you know, we're always buying stuff, and that's our experience with business. But thinking about business from the other perspective, which is the perspective of owner, and the perspective as vendor or seller, it's a different concept. So today, before we get into our checklist, let's start with the definition of what a business is, according to My Uber Life. So a business is 5 things. Number 1, business has to create value and solve a problem. What does that mean? Well, oftentimes people come to us, you know, with an idea, and then we'll beat up the idea and we'll say, okay, tell me how that is creating value, and tell me how's that solving a problem. And of course, you know, as you can imagine, those answers can go all over the place. But with that being said, let's analyze a little bit what the word value means, right? Value means something that's desired, that's wanted, that is special, that is highly coveted, right? So a value is something, right, or an idea, or a physical thing that is needed, right? So value, of course, can be subjective and relative, but it is something that has to be clear in business. Are you valuable? Are you creating value? And more importantly, how do you determine that, right? And then how do you determine if you're solving a problem? So point one, business has to create value and solve a problem. Point number two, business has to create value and solve a problem for someone else. Oftentimes people come with ideas, and usually the ideas, and every idea is awesome. And I believe that, and we believe that as a team, but oftentimes to know the idea is truly awesome is if can you convince someone else, your family, your friends, a community of people, right? Is it valued by them? Because it might be valuable to yourself, but if you're in business, it has to be valuable to someone else because that's your customer. So business has to create value, solve a problem for someone else other than yourself. And the best way to do that is to identify need, identify desire, identify problems, identify what is being valued. And us as people of color, as Black people, as brown people, as young people, all types of people, we all exist within tribes, within communities, and within those communities, we have value systems. So in those value systems, that system is brokering and sharing value. So those are what are the things that are valued, and that's a good place to start. Also, every community has peeves, pains, and problems. So if you're walking around and seeing that you have a problem, or you see that people have a problem, and you identify that, that's an opportunity. Like, aha, I can go in and solve that problem. So a business creates value and solve a problem for someone else. That someone else, not other than yourself, is the community. That's the people, that's the tribe that you know. And if you are a part of a tribe or a community, that's a great place to start. Or if you are someone like me who have been around different communities, you may see an opportunity to solve some problems. A lot of times people, who have problems or who have, grievances or peeves or shun, a good, smart business person will say, oh, that's an opportunity. Because those problems might be worth solving. And if you can offer a solution to that problem, then you will be valuable. And then you can break that value down into valuable items, what we call products and services. So one, business creates value and solves a problem. Number two, for someone else, other than yourself. And point number three, at a price that you're willing to pay for. So what does that mean? At a price that they're willing to pay for. I said at a price I'm willing to pay for. No, at a price they're willing to pay for, this community. So business creates value, solves a problem for someone else other than yourself. And that someone else is the community. That's the people. But are they willing to pay for that? Right? Oftentimes, if you get lucky to go past point one, get past point two, you might offer a solution to people, but it may be not at the right price or price point, as we say in the business world, that they are willing to pay for. So you have to identify problems that you're solving, and also and create the value that's needed and desired. But also, it has to be at a price point people are willing to pay for. So that's point number three. Point number four, not only do you have to create value and solve a problem for someone else other than yourself at a price that the people that you're solving a problem for, get it? That they're willing to pay for, it has to meet and need their expectation. So yeah, you might have a dope product, you might have something that's smart, that's creative, that's clever, and you might get it out to the market, and it might be the right price, but when they get that package, it may not meet their expectation. And it definitely may not exceed expectation. So business has to not only sell you something, it has to meet or exceed your expectation every single time, or else eventually you won't be in business. And yeah, you might be thinking here, yeah, there's been a lot of sloppy people that I've been dealing with. There's a lot of companies that have terrible customer service. But guess what? Eventually those companies will go out of business, particularly in day and age where we have the internet. We have people like yourselves coming into the market with your ideas, with your value, with the solutions for the problems that people have that might disrupt some of those people. So who have ignored this whole concept of meeting the needs and wowing you, just simply put, are you wowing the people that you're selling to? So you may see that a lot of people have gotten away with quote unquote murder because they haven't had any competition. Now the world is your competition. So point number 4, it has to meet or exceed your expectation. Number 5, business has to create value, solve a problem for someone else other than yourself at a price they want to pay for that meets or exceeds their expectation. But it must be created, delivered, and fulfilled in a way where you make a profit. Let's get this straight, ladies and gentlemen. Business is about profits. It's not a hobby. It's not an art project. No disrespect to hobbies, no respect to art projects and passion projects. But when you start a business, you have to understand that you're in it to make a profit. So you can create value, you can identify problems, you can say, okay, this community needs it, this group of people need this thing. You may find the right pricing for it, right production for it, the right setup for it. You might even have the right, thing set up that that's going to wow them. But you do all that and you don't make a profit, you won't be in business long. So those are the 5 points of business, right? Got it? Good. All right. So now, for those of you that want to start a business, because now you know what a business is, say, okay, what are some of the things that I actually need to start a business? Okay, well, that's a very vast concept. Oftentimes, people, you don't know where to start. There's tons of information online. There's tons of experts online. Fine. And tons of people like myself who are willing to give you advice. Also fine. But, in the reality, it is something that we took a long time to really boil down, what is a business? Whether it's a fashion product, a beauty line, something for women of color, for some type of technological innovation, something that's, for a certain geographical region, all have the same fundamentals. We gave you those 5 points. Rather, I gave you those 5 points. I was thinking the we. I was thinking about team and community. But those 5 points of what a business is was what I shared with you. And now these checklists for you. So let's go. Pen and paper. Ready? Let's do it. Okay, first thing first, after you identify what a business is, and you know what that means, rather, business needs to have a name, has to have a name. What is the name of your company? My Uber Life. We call our company My Uber Life because we wanted people to, very simply put, when they read My Uber Life, and it's before Uber the car, by the way, Uber the taxi service, we wanted people to read that and say, I want my life to be Uber. And Uber is the German word for super. We wanted to be clever. At the time, we were reading a lot of books and stuff, Nietzsche and things of that nature. And we thought the word was cool and it would be edgy. So we came up with the word My Uber Life. So My Uber Life was the name of what we were hoping that people would feel emotionally when they read our company name. And then as we progressed, we created other companies around our ecosystem. One specifically is called Wolf University. And, I have a wolf around my necklace. And, we created Wolf University because we wanted to have the spirit of community, the spirit of hunting your dreams. And our slogan for all of our companies is be a wolf about your dream. And if any of you know us, that's something that we constantly reinforce. So Wolf University is another name. So those are some of the names of the companies that we have. Another company that we have is called Wolf Capital, where we same concept, same idea, but we use the wolf as the energy, but it's as a fund designed to invest in companies. So as you can see, those are some of the names that we created. Names mean nothing to no one else, but it means something to us. But, you know, we started thinking about, okay, how do we build off of what we've, you know, already been doing as a consulting company? How do we create these other companies? My Uber Life, the Uber sign has these umlauts, the 2 dots on top. Wolf, we spelled it with the umlaut, so the U had 2 dots in it. So that's, you know, some of our naming exercises. So when you come up with your name, you know, feel free to think about things in this kind of creative way. You know, creativity is not linear. It's not clean, and it's sloppy sometimes. It fumbles, you know, just like how this conversation with us, you know, that we're having. Creativity doesn't need to be always make sense. Sometimes it can make you feel a little embarrassed, makes you feel a little weird. If you told me that 15 years later, I'll be talking about, you know, my Uber Life, the name, and, you know, talking about wolves, you know, I would be embarrassed. But, you know, as it became part of our persona, my identity, our company's identity, our client's identity, our community's identity, you know, something that it's a name of, you know, that brings pride and joy to my heart, and gives, you know, and that energy is shared amongst our entire team and our community. So when you think about your name, think about it in that kind of, not just, you know, linear, you know, impact, but think about things in a very wide emotional way as well. And hey, if you want your name to be like just very straightforward, you can do that. You know, Google is a name. What was Google? No one knew what that meant before it did it. It did that. What was Microsoft? No one knew what that was before it was created. And then you have other companies that are very linear. You know, AskJeeves.com, you know, DoThis.com. You know, so you can also have names that don't really necessarily need to be as creative. You know, Nike is another name. Nike was the god. I think it was the Greek god, a Roman god, and the Nike swoosh is one of the wings. No one knows that, but, you know, that's part of the history of the name. So names do matter, right? We all have names. So think about your business as something that you care about. That's something that is special to you. Think about it as your child, you know? Yeah, I think that's good. Target audience. That's the second thing on the checklist. Target audience. Very, 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 very important. In the business, you need to have an audience, right? Remember we talked about business is about creating value and solving a problem for someone else. That someone else is AKA for target audience. So target audience is the group of people that you want to serve, the group of people that you want to talk to, the group of people that you want to buy your product, and it's a group of people that you're constantly asking questions about what is their pain and problems. Great companies are always in touch with the people that, buy their products. They're always in touch with the world, what's going on in the different geographical regions, and different demographics. And oftentimes the Black and brown community, particularly in America, you know, Black and people of color, as a target audience, we have been dismissed and we have not been spoken to. So there's a huge opportunity in speaking to that community. Same thing goes for other communities that have been disenfranchised, but I felt it was important to say that. So the target audience is an audience that you want to sell to. And that target audience, when you start a business, you got to speak to them, learn from them, talk to them, you know, grow with them, and identify their problems. And those problems will allow you to create solutions, and then they're able to help you design products and design services to help, you know, you help bring some joy to their lives, to help solve some problems in their life, to help make their life a little more easier. That's what a great company does, simply put. So our target audience is really the place that you plan to do that. And the communication with them is important because you need to know your audience. And that's something that we constantly reinforce in the business. Know thy audience, you know who you're talking to, know who you're selling to. Don't be tone deaf, don't ignore them. And you, as we all can imagine and all have experienced, the world is very, 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 very crazy because a lot of people ignore the target audience. They ignore the people in the world. They ignore the community. And all communities have value, particularly the communities that we belong to. So target audience. Number two, sorry, number three, a business, you have to plan, right? Name is great, knowing who you want to sell to, understanding what problems they need. You got to say, okay, well, I got to come up with something called a business plan. So a business plan is basically a plan that has several components that helps you understand and how to organize how are you going to actually go about solving problems and, offering product and selling and making a profit, as we discussed earlier. So business plan is really just organizing the process from concept to someone's hand and that money back in your hand, and that cycle over and over again. Simply put, business plan could be 60 pages, it could be a napkin sketch, it can be a lot of different things, but simply put, business plan is a plan that is an organized template, and we have a process that we help people do that with, and that's something that will be a lot longer than this video. But Google business plan, or get in touch with us. We can definitely guide you with that. So, and also remember, plans change. We live in a world that's always changing. So we always say it's not necessarily the plan; it's the planning that matters. So once you create a plan, you can also keep that document, dynamic and growing, like things, like how we are dynamic and growing, how the world is dynamic and growing. Of course, you choose a name, in the planning process. So that's because once you get a name, those are naming ideas, you have to make sure those names are available. What does that mean? Because we live on the internet, you gotta see if the domain is available, right? You gotta get, when you go to a website that says something.com, you have to go find that name. That name you buy from a domain. You go, like GoDaddy is a place where you go buy that name to see if it's available. Once you own a domain, now you own a domain, now you can create a website. Also, is the name available so that you can use just in general, in the real world, in the physical world, and digital world. The place that you can go to is the United States Patent and Trademark Office. Again, small details, but choose a name. And also, is the name available on social media, right? Those are the 1, 2, 3 things that you should go about just to make sure the name sticks. 3, you got to research supplies, understand what it takes to create this product or sell a service. Got to do the research. How much does it cost to actually create this thing? Got to make some phone calls, maybe go to some factories, maybe work with some partners. Got to research. You got to understand what it really means to do it. What is it going to actually mean to do this? I said it twice. And that will help you estimate your startup costs, right? You got to estimate your startup costs. How many of these things are going to cost? You got to write these things down. I believe very, very important to write these down. And a lot of times in the writing down process, things are not clear, but I promise you, as you write these things down, things become clearer. Estimating manufacturing costs, same thing. That's self-explanatory. Basically, manufacture the product or service that you want to create. So, for example, if I wanted to, as a consultant, now with COVID, we now have to use things like Zoom or Skype. So those are things that we maybe not be manufacturing a physical product, but for us to consult and to talk to people like this, we now have to go through our third partners. And those partners cost money. We have to buy their products. We have to buy their service. So those things that impact our business, and they will impact your business because the world is changing. Also, got to research competition, right? In the planning process. Who's your competition? We call this a SWOT, strengths, weak, opportunity, and threats. Very complex, but basically, you need to know who your competitors are, and do not tell yourself you don't have competition. Everyone has competition, and competition is good because you can learn from them. You can learn from their mistakes. So see who simply, are doing the same thing that you're doing out there. And if you don't know, you can't find someone doing what you're doing, get in touch. I promise you, we can find someone, and that process will help you, get cleaner, even become sharper in what you can offer the people, and your quote unquote target audience, so that they can buy your stuff at a price that you're willing to sell it to, while you can make a profit. Set realistic goals. it's important to set realistic goals. I think a lot of people don't manage expectations. A business doesn't have to be a $10 million thing. It can be, you know, a $100,000 thing. It could be a $10,000 thing. Just set your goals. Understand what your constraints are, what you want, what's your plan? What's your 5-year plan? What's your 10-year plan? What's your 3-year plan? What's your 1-year plan? What's your 6-month plan? What's your 30-day plan? What's your 14-day plan? Set your goals. Important. Research pricing, research local markets. You know, it's important to know where you live and where you exist in. And these things will help you in the planning process and help your business plan be stronger. After you do the after you do the naming stuff and you do the target audience stuff and you do all the planning stuff, and you do all the research, marketing, right? Marketing is important because marketing, what is marketing? Marketing is not just advertisement. Marketing is all types of communication. It's the way that you receive information and the way you share. So marketing is a conversation with your audience. That's what marketing is. Marketing is nothing more than that. And the way you do that are all the different things that we've all felt, from advertisement all the way to your friends telling you, all the way to, you know, sales and discounts. Those are all different things. But very simply put, what is marketing? Marketing is communication with the goal of building a community, with the goal of empowering your target audience, with the goal of them giving you product, buying your product, and then lastly, the goal of you understanding what they need. That is what marketing is essentially. But here's some things that you can do to guide you in the process. Very simply put, marketing, we got to buy the domain, talked about that earlier, create a website, create a business email, create a social media account, create a mail list, right? Mail list is like all the people you know, all the things you want to, people you want to reach out to, especially those of you that have, have people in the church, have people in, in the neighborhood, people you went to school with, people at the job, put them in an email list because they'll be your first customers and your first people to give you feedback. Create an email signature. It's important because, we send emails every day. Create business cards. Business cards are old school, still important. Hi, I'm Jay from My Uber Life, and we help grow businesses. Please get in touch. That's simple. That card can help live and go where you can't physically be. And, sometimes people, call and email me 4 or 5 years later from an old business card. So you never know. Something else for those of you who are not just service oriented. So those of you who are product oriented, what I mean by that, those of you who are actually going to sell physical product, right? We sell services. Some people sell cars, sneakers, shoes, TVs. Photograph some of your sample products and then apply to local markets and events, right? That's the last part in the marketing batch there, right? So what that means is that you got to figure out where people sell. Those of you may know farmers markets, those of you might know trade shows. These are other things that, garage sales, these are all places that you can go and test out your idea. These are all aspects of marketing, right? So far, we started in this checklist for starting a business. We started with naming ideas, started with target audience, started with the planning, and we just went through what marketing is and some of the things that we can do to market. Okay, going on with business. These parts are very important in this process of starting a business. Is some of the nitty-gritty stuff is choosing a legal structure, right? So I try to make this as lean as possible. In America, we have legal structures to do what? To protect us from lawsuits and also to help us organize with partners and investors. What are some of those structures? You probably heard of some of this, and maybe you've been familiar with this. Some people, you might go someplace and see, oh, John and Mike's law firm, LLC, right? An LLC is a limited liability company. You might see LLPs, a limited liability partnership. You might hear about the word corporations. There's S corps, there's C corps. All those different things or different legal structures that have pros and cons to help protect you from, legal suit, protect you from people, just, some bad people who are trying to, may sue you for different reasons. Or it might be there for you to actually organize how you partner with people, right? So again, that's a bigger conversation. We can, and something we can discuss after this, maybe another workshop. But definitely choosing your legal structure is very important, right? It's as important as choosing your name, as important as planning, and it's as important as the marketing aspect. And after you choose your legal structure, and remember, each legal structure has a pro and con: LLC, LLPs, S Corps, C Corps are the four main ones in the United States of America. They offer you benefits. I would say definitely speak to a tax accountant, because they do have tax implications as well, and also speak to a lawyer because they have legal implications as well, or someone like us who are business consultants who can help guide you in that process. After you do that, you got to register your name. What does that mean? Register your name with the United States Patent Trademark Office, the USPTO.gov. Go there, register your name. You go there, register your name in the state you're in. You go there, you register your name in the city you're in, by applying for business licenses and things of that nature. The registration process is very important because you get your name in the books, and also you become aware of if someone else is trying to infringe on your name or your trademark, right? For example, trademark is something that you use to let the world know that you're selling a certain item, all right? And again, it's important because as you are selling, your name is, you want your name to be associated with certain, certain emotions and certain reputations. So in that process, in registering your name, you help create that protection for your name, right? Because you don't want to spend 5 years building a name and then someone else comes and swoop in there and, takes all your credit or destroys your reputation. So it's important to register your name. Next thing on this business part of our checklist is obtain an EIN, right? An EIN is a tax ID. Once you get your register, your legal structure and your business name, and it's, these kind of things, and it's registered, you can now go and register and get a tax ID from the IRS. A tax ID allows you, like a Social Security, right, for a personal, allows you to do certain things. You can now be registered, you open a bank account, so now you can have a business bank account. You can also now start building business credit, and also you can do certain things where you're personally not involved, but your business is involved. So your business is an entity by itself outside of your own personal being. So we, as a person has a Social Security, every business has an EIN number, aka a tax ID. For those of you who may be in Canada, it's a BN. BN is something very similar, but Canada has something very similar to the EIN, but it's the same concept. Again, obtain the permits, licenses for you to do what you have to do. In that research process, you might figure out to sell what you have to sell, to make what you have to make, may require you in your state or your region to have a license or a permit. So again, something that you can research and look on. Again, be in touch. That's something that that's also important. Another thing that's important in starting a business in this checklist is setting up an accounting system, right? Setting up an accounting system is important. You have QuickBooks, you have things of that nature that helps you understand, your buying and selling, your costs, and these things of that nature, right? These things are important because at the end of the year, you have to file taxes, just like a person does. And, in business, you have write-offs, you have gains, you have these things, that's, another conversation, but just very simply put, tax implications. And the accounting system will help you manually having to go back to do all this hard work. So it's important to have that set up as well. As you can see, starting a business is not just an idea or a brand. It has some things that you have to consider. And may seem a little bit, complex, but they're really not. I promise you the checklist that can get you to get you to that endpoint of having a thriving business. After this little section of business, the next section is products and services, right? For you to actually understand what you're selling, you have to create sample products, you have to create pricing, you have to create an inventory list, you have to order supplies, you have to create a workplace for you to work to be able to do this. For those of you that may need a storefront, those of you might need a factory, those of you that might need a studio, like myself, you might need a desk, you might need lighting, you might need computers for you to do what you have to do. So if you're selling products, you need to figure out those things. If you're selling a service, you need to figure out those things. And then more importantly, you have to figure out what your pricing is. How much is this going to actually cost? And is it going to help me make a profit so I can keep delivering value and keep, building with my community? So pricing is a big important part of this, business concept that you have. So products and services are an important part of the checklist, and more specifically, the inventory that you're going to plan to sell and the pricing of what that's going to actually cost you, and what you're actually going to charge, which is what we call the retail price. So there's the price that we create, there's the price that we sell. And that selling retail price is the profit margin, another business term. And I promise I wouldn't, throw out these terms in the fundamental conversation, but those are words that you may hear, profit margin. So price that it costs you to actually make the item, and first is the price that you're actually going to sell the item for. That difference is your margin. These are things that you have to kind of figure out when you're designing your business. So after products and services, you have branding, right? Branding is very important. Branding is the cousin of marketing, right? Branding is the emotion, and products and services is the tangibility. So we often say branding is the spirit of the company. Branding is the spirit of their products and services. And branding is the emotion that you want people to feel. So if you think about it, a pair of Nikes and a pair of Reeboks are both the same thing. They're both shoes. They're both plastic. They're both made out of, both made by the same materials. But when you think Nike, you feel something. When you think Reebok, you think something. And that's what branding does. And what are the components of branding, you ask? Branding is are the colors we use, right? My companies, we use black and red, and we use the wolf, right? So branding is our colors. So we use black and we use red, and that's our brand. Google has some colors, Microsoft has some colors, Apple has some colors, and every company has their color set. If you design a logo, every company has a logo. Our logo is the wolf. Apple's logo is the apple. Microsoft's logo is the word. Google's logo is, Google. The blue, red, yellow, green. I'm looking at it right now on my screen. Words that we all know now, right? Of course. So when you're coming up with your branding, your brand, think about the colors you're going to use, design the logo, and think about the emotions that you want to actually create in the person when they buy your product. When they're going to the supermarket, you're like, should I buy this one or that one? Should I get that soup or versus that soup? Which ramen do I want to buy? I love ramen. Don't judge me. But that's how you determine which soy milk, which almond milk, which champagne, which tequila you want, whatever. Tons of options. Brand helps to differentiate you from the rest. And we always say, or something that we learned from somebody, Seth Godin, a famous marketing writer, said, you want to be the purple cow. You want to stand out. You don't want to blend in. So you want to be a business that stands out, right? And if you stand out, it's easier for you to, of course, get sold. We don't know about, and the way to do that is to start with your colors and your logo. Got to create a tagline. Our tagline is to be a wolf about your dream. Nike's is just do it, and so on, so forth. Taglines are important. You want to have people read that tagline and feel something. Our company is to help people grow and build companies. So we want people to be wolves about their dreams. We want people to hunt their dreams. want to feel something. They want to feel, relentlessness. So that's the energy that we want to share. Nike wants you to just do it. So you get my drift. So create a tagline, pun, a slogan that people can know you by next to your logo and next to your colors. And that's different from just your products and services that you're offering and the name. And for those of you that are selling products, design your, product packaging. Just think about product packaging this. How does the item, when you open the cookies, when you open the champagne, when you unbox the TV, when you lose your iPad, your MacBook, how does that feel? When you look at the Nike, that box open, just think about your packaging. That's all part of your brand and experience. And of course, the business cards are, another example of how you can think about how does your brand live on a card. So how does the brand live in the product that you're selling and the service that you're offering? And also, how does it live in a business card? How does it live in the body? The wolf is on my body. How does the wolf look, look online? How does it look on the business card? How does it look when you're receiving our service? So these are the things that are important in the branding section of the checklist. And we're almost done here. We have 2 more parts of the checklist. It's called finance and analytics. Finance is another section that's important in our checklist for starting a business and the business 101. Once you have your LLC, once you have your tax ID, your name, and you have a plan, you got to open a business account, right? Because when you open a business account, they're going to ask for your name, they're going to ask for your legal formation, or your LLC, or your S corp, or your C corp, and it's going to ask you to open, and for your EIN, which is your tax ID. Once you have that, you can open an account. Once you have an open account, now you can receive payments. Now you can receive money to the wood, or and now we're in time of crypto, maybe Bitcoin. You can create a PayPal account, right? You can create a Stripe account. You can create all these different things with that. And for those of you that actually have physical products that actually want to open up stores, and you can use that account to open up a POS system, which is called a point of sale system. When you go into the store and you swipe your card, that's the point of sale system. When you go in CVS or Duane Reade or Publix or wherever that may be, that thing is point of sale system. That is a setup for you to have. And don't worry, that's part of, those things are out the box. You can get those things out the box and get set up pretty quickly nowadays. And then the finances, ties into your account system to see how much money you're making, how much money you're spending. And again, your goal is to make a profit. We have a rule of thumb that we say we want to make 3 times, the money that things cost us, right? And, part of that profit is for emergency, and the other part of that profit is for development, new services and new products. So, after you figure out all those things and see how much it costs you, then you sell it at, 3 times what it actually costs you to be able to have, be able to help you stay in business and keep growing. And finance is a big part of that. That's an important part of the business endeavor. So selling product is one thing. Branding and marketing is another thing. Being out and about, making your business grow is one thing, but the finance part is the part that's behind the scenes, but very important. And every business needs it, let me tell you. Okay, and then the last part is analytics, right? Analytics is, because of the reality of the world today, we exist, just in the physical space and also in digital space, in the multiverse now, right? We're in 2 universes. The multiverse is 2 universes, physical and digital. And the facts are that everyone uses Google, Instagram, and Facebook. So sign up for Google Analytics is important to know, particularly where your e-commerce store is, where your website is, and even, just where, how does your company and your business exist online. So it's very, very part of the process. You set up a business account on Google, set up a business account on Facebook, set up a business account on Instagram, and a lot of that's built in now. And once you have that information, you understand how people are interacting with your website, with your social media, and you can make adjustments. You can make marketing adjustments. You can make product pricing adjustment. it's a lot of things to help guide your intuition. To be quite fair, a lot of things in business is intuitive, but this is some of the things that are more scientific. So I think a healthy blend is a blend between the creative, the spirit, the soul, you know in the community, what they need intuitively, and also guiding that process with some of these analytical tools. So sign up for Google Analytics, sign up for Facebook, sign up for Instagram, and sign up for Google Search Console, and sign up for Tailwind. Those are some examples. And yes, and I think that concludes this workshop. If you have any questions, please get in touch. But let me recap before we end off here. Did I go too fast? I hope not. I hope this was awesome. I hope this felt good. But every time I do this exercise, it's refreshing and revealing. So before we go here, let's start with the checklist. And this time I'll just run it down. So get a pen and paper and jot this down. And then also we'll attach this to this workshop so that you can have a guide. So starting the business, we need naming ideas. Pick about 3, right? Starting a business, target audience. Pick about 2 audiences and identify them and figure out what they need and want. Planning phase, create a business plan, choose a name, research supplies, estimate startup costs, estimate manufacturing costs, research your competition, set realistic goals, research pricing, and research local markets. That's the planning section. Marketing section, buy a domain, create a website, create a business email, create a social media account, create a mail list, create an email signature, create business cards, and photograph sample products. Good lighting is good, trust me. Don't skimp on the lighting. Words of the wise. Some of the back of house stuff in the business part of the checklist, choose your legal structure, the pros and cons. That we can discuss more offline. They all have different benefits, tax benefits, tax costs, tax write-offs, they all have different benefits. But choose your legal structure, register your business name, obtain an EIN, get a tax ID, right? It's a process you can do. It's a lot of third-party places you can do that. You can just easily Google that. Once you set up your name, you can do that process. Oftentimes, companies that actually help you register your name also offer that service. But again, if you need some help with that, we're definitely here to support that. Obtain licenses and permits. Depending on what you're doing, depends on what you're selling. They might have different regulations and where you live and where you plan to sell. Important to research that and get a good accounting system. That is the business part of the checklist. In your products and service checklist, part of the checklist, create an inventory list. Basically come up with the products that you think you're going to sell. Create a pricing list and create sample products and order supplies. And then you have the product and service part kind of buttoned down. Branding part, choose your colors, design your logo, create your tagline, order business cards, and design your packaging, right? That's the branding part of the checklist. And then move on to the finance part of the checklist. Open your business account. That with your tax ID, of course. Create a PayPal account. Create a management system that's tied to your accounting system. And then, those of you that are actually selling product in the real world, a POS system, a point of sale system. And then lastly, an analytical system to help you guide some of your intuition, Facebook analytics, Instagram analytics, Google analytics. And that requires you to register as a business on these platforms. So that concludes our talk. Thank you very much for joining me today. I hope this was, empowering, inspiring. I hope it helped you organize you. I hope it didn't overwhelm you too much. Again, this process is a living, breathing process. And I'm at your service. I'm available here to help. And to get in touch, we will be more stuff here. So you can, we can speak offline. So everyone have a blessed day. God bless, and be a wolf about your dream.
Habari Gani. Today is Ujamaa. How's everybody doing? How did you like our programming today? We wanted to give you a balance of things. So we started off with the yoga and the active meditation. And then we had that really informative workshop with Jay from My Uber Life to support you in your business development needs. So we are heading into our afternoon programming at the African American Research Library and Cultural Center. Today, we've opened up our marketplace. And so if you come, we have tons of vendors for you. And then we have a pretty nice full schedule, starting with a workshop that will be streamed if you're joining us from out of state, because I know there are a couple of you who've been with us all week long. We see you. We are so grateful for you showing up and celebrating Kwanzaa with us. So our first workshop's at 1 o'clock. It's transitioning into plant-based diet, and you'll get a ting. If you're not subscribed, this is where you want to subscribe so you can get that notification for YouTube. Then we have a really good, let me not do it like that. We have another amazing workshop around finances and eliminating debt with Ivy Bennett. That will be at 2 o'clock. Following that Plant-Based 101 workshop. Then we're going to be offline. So if you weren't able to, if you're not in town, you won't be able to be with us. But for those of you who are local, we have a cooking demo with Sunny, quick, easy vegan food, and you'll be able to taste her food. And she's actually our food vendor for today. We have a DIY workshop with Barbara Jacques. And we also have African dance with myself. Tomorrow is our it's not our grand finale, but it's sort of like our grand finale. We have a cultural showcase and marketplace from 7 to 10, and we're really excited to have you join us. Then if you have friends in South Florida, if you're in South Florida, we want to see you there. Come dressed. We'll be in the auditorium, and we have a beautiful lineup of local artists and performers for you. And Saturday, we have Kuumba, where we have a lineup of workshops. So again, if you want to see our schedule, you can go to celebratekwanzaa.org and you'll see all of that. Otherwise, I'll see some of you later at 1 o'clock. Have a wonderful and beautiful day. Harambe.